Today, I'm going to talk about a method that will help you create text animations in After Effects. If you can combine this information with each other, you can produce some animations that will save you time even when working on big projects. And you can use this animation anywhere in different formats. Now listen carefully. These are the most basic principles of text animation. Let's open After Effects and create a new composition. I right-click, New Composition, and let's create a composition with a standard size of 1920 x 1080. 30 seconds is too much right now. I change it to 10 seconds. I click OK. Our 10-second composition is created, and then we will write a text. I take the text tool from the toolbox above, and let's write a text in the center of the scene. We have a black background. Since we made a black background, a text in white color can be nice. I'm writing After Effects. Since our topic is After Effects, let's write Adobe. If anyone is curious about the character, you can examine it here, Gotham Black. Let's center this in the Paragraph tab. Let's enlarge it a little bit on the Character tab. Then select the Selection tool and center it both horizontally and vertically through the Align panel. If you don't see one or more of these tabs, you can access them all from under Windows. What we need to pay attention to after writing the text is to center the anchor points. When we say anchor point, let me zoom in on this line that you see, which looks like the anchor point target icon. There is a tool here so that we can center it. See, anchor point is already written on it. I click on it and I can move it as I want. If you press the Control key from the keyboard, see if I press the Control key at these points, it will anchor itself right in the center. We have written our text. Now let's add a background to it. I'm taking the Rectangle tool. We're going to draw such a background, but there's another point we need to pay attention to. I take it back. If the text is selected, it creates a rectangle as a mask. We need to remove this selection by clicking anywhere on the timeline. Now we have new features here. The area where we can specify the color and border thickness was not there before. What color should be the background? Maybe red. I'm setting the red to surround the Adobe like this. Let's not give it an outline. There's no need. After creating this, I select the Selection tool again and drag the layer named Shape Layer 1 under the Adobe text. If the anchor point is not centered, it needs to be centered too. So I do what we just did again. It's already centered. Now we've added our text, we've added its background, but do we have to add this background every time we add text? Here, I'm going to make it easy for you, and I'm going to add this background here automatically. Follow carefully. I open Rectangle. Here, I open Rectangle Path, and after opening Rectangle Path, you will see Size. To the left of Size, you will see a stopwatch icon. I press Alt on the keyboard and click on this stopwatch icon. Another field opens on the right where we can enter expression. The text is already selected. I delete this text directly and type s equals sign. When I type s equals sign, I will ask it to complete the first line after that. Here you will see an icon, you will see a string, a spiral string. I'm holding this and I can drag it as I want. I drag it over the text, it has selected the text and added its code here. I press Enter, it moved one line down. I add the code I will give in the comments section to the bottom line. You can copy this code from the comments section. What happened after I pasted this code here? The shape layer, the background that we added automatically, surrounded the text. It's nice, but there seems to be some problems. If you encounter such size problems because of the font, look, there is space on the edges here. If you play a little bit with the position part just under the rectangle, under Transform Rectangle 1, this will make your job a little bit easier. What does this mean? It means that if we make any changes to the text, the background will automatically be resized accordingly. That's the beauty of it. So, if we want to put spaces on the sides of the post, how do we do that? Under Add on the right side of Content, you will see an option called Offset Path. When I click this, it will automatically add the spaces here. By increasing or decreasing the value of this, you can make the spaces increase or decrease. Every time you make a change, it will consider these gaps and make the edit this time. If you want the edges to be oval instead of angular, You can examine the options of the midline join section. Round join, for example, makes it round. Bevel makes it angular. Leave it like this. We've added the text, we've added the background, we've integrated the background with the text, so we've linked them together. Now we will give it an animation. I select the shape. Let's turn off the arrows a little bit. Let's edit it. I select the shape layer. I take the rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a rectangle like this, but it created a new rectangle. This is not what we want. We want to create a mask. I undo it with Ctrl-Z. Look, when I select this tool, you will see an icon on the right side. Tool creates mask. I click on it, I activate it, then I turn it around. If we can animate the mask path under the mask, we will be able to animate this part. I take the first scene like this. I click once on the stopwatch at the beginning of the mask path. It gave me the keyframe here. To start with, I move the timeline a little bit more to the left and use the selection tool to move it to the breadth of the text. Yes, it looks like this, but logically, we should want the text not to be visible here. You can also use this. You can also create different animations in this way. In order to include the text, I press Ctrl-D for duplicate from the keyboard while the shape layer is selected. A new layer called Shape Layer 2 is created. Then I drag it over the text layer. Afterwards, if you see the track matte part of the Adobe text, you can right-click and activate them from Stun's columns. What we are using right now is the Mod section. I change the option under Track Matte to Shape Layer 2. The text disappeared. I play it, and the text comes with the background. You can combine this in different ways. For example, this is the whole text, but in the first frame, I want it to come from top to bottom. If you adjust the mask, it will change accordingly. Look, right now it is set to be top down, but I also need to change Shape Layer 2 so we can copy the one below and do that. See, this is how it happened. So what have we done? We have automatically animated anything we write here, and we can edit the background accordingly. No hassle. So can we use this in multiple lines? Of course we can, within reason. I select all three layers and press Ctrl-Shift-C on the keyboard, so I'm kind of pre-compose. We call it pre-compose 1. I click OK and look, the pre-compose is here. I'm going to say we can do it from here to Ctrl-D so that I can copy it in different lines, but this is not the right method, because when you change the content of one, the content of the other will change. I've undone it with Ctrl-Z. We need to do this operation from here. I change Pre-compose 1 into Pre-compose 2 by clicking Ctrl-D from here. I change the text inside this one. For example, I changed it to Adobe. See, this is Pre-compose 2. And inside Pre-compose 1, it still says Creative. So if I drag Pre-compose 2 here and edit it as a location, I will be able to use this feature and this animation in more than one line. I'm moving one of them a little bit further, first one and then the other one. You can also write a name. You can write another title. Of course, there is no limit to this. You can edit it however you want. Since my goal is to integrate texts with backgrounds, I tried not to go beyond this topic. You can even set it as motion graphics and use it in Premiere. Yes, in this video, I tried to show how we can integrate texts into the background, how we can associate them using expression. That's it for this video. I hope it was useful. See you in the next tutorial.